featured in Jeffrey Archer's book. Now, this is something that, like, I wouldn't even dream of, like, meeting Jeffrey Archer, let alone being featured in his book. So how was that for you? What did you feel about it?
Well, I wouldn't have dreamt of it either. But we did meet, and we absolutely got along famously. And we spoke about each other, and like friends do, about each other's lives. And next thing I know, he was writing my story.
Okay.
He read out a paragraph to me, and I was delighted and overwhelmed. And what really enthralled me, Kainaz, is it was not melodramatic. It was very beautiful. No wonder he's one of the best storytellers in the world.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, when you speak to him, he's just as enigmatic in person.
Hi everyone, I'm Kainaz Jussawalla and you're watching Break Free with me. Today I have someone who is an absolutely extraordinary woman. I've had the pleasure to meet her recently, but she has swept me off my feet. And I don't say that about women at all, but this is one of the few people who have completely floored me. She's none other than Nisha Jamvwal. Hi Nisha.
Good evening, Kainaz. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for your warm words.
How are you doing? All good?
I'm doing very well in the circumstances.
Yeah, I know. Guys, for most of y'all would know who Nisha is, but for those who do not know, well, let me educate you. I will read it out because I don't want to miss out the wonderful things that she is. So she's a celebrity columnist. She writes for over 6 publications, including international ones. She is an author, an interiors architect, a luxury and brand consultant. She's an equal rights activist, a social entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, a talk show anchor. I could hardly fit that in. Nisha, so many things. I am absolutely amazed at the amount of things that you do and how do you get all this done. Nisha, I would love everybody to know what Nisha Jamvwal is all about, because you're a master of everything, and I'm sure you're a master of everything. So please tell me, how did it all start, and how come you're such a, not only independent and a self-made woman from what I've heard, but you are also stunning and gorgeous and the full package. Nisha, what makes you this full package? I know it will take a long time to say this, but in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for saying all that, Kainaz. I do realize that I take on more than people, would like to take on. It probably comes from the fact that I'm so excited by so many things and so keen to do so many things that I never went on the beaten path of doing one thing and excelling at one thing. I was told that if I don't take on one role, I may not do well in so many disciplines that I chose to follow. But I took that risk because I was not, my life didn't start out wanting to be famous or wanting to be ambitious. My life started out, and still is, about experiencing many experiences rather than living to please the audiences or my family. So what I'm trying to say is, for me, life is a pastiche. It's a collage of various exciting experiences. It's like, it's like being a nomad of careers. I am nomadic in terms of careers. I write, I do television. I studied to be an interiors architect. I later studied to do fashion and pattern drafting. I also studied contemporary art, Renaissance art. I also studied special effects in computers and cinema. I just went about doing everything that I wanted to do without pleasing anyone,
Yeah.
except following my dream.
Right.
And if you were to ask me to share a little secret of happiness, I'd say follow your dreams.
Right.
When I go to colleges to mentor students, I tell them to follow their dreams. Because if life is about pleasing the audiences and gaining fame and popularity, there is no assurance that you will do it even when you try to do it.
Yeah.
So why not try instead to follow your dreams and end up saying that I lived life to all that I wanted to live life for.
Yeah.
In my life, I've worked very, very hard.
Yeah.
And I can't say that it's always been smooth,
yeah.
but I stuck with it and I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
And I continued to work hard. And somewhere along the line, I actually did attain success.
Yeah.
And the fame and popularity that people covet, to some extent, did come my way as well.
Of course it did. Yes. Yes.
So I really must share that it's more important to go after your own dreams and ambitions than try to please the people around you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what actually my show Break Free says. It says you've got to pursue your own dreams, even if it means standing alone. Even if it means, standing out of the crowd and being awkward according to others. You make your own rules and then you break them if you want. But that's all about you. But one thing I've noticed...
What an apt name for the show, Break Free, because
Break
that's
Free.
exactly what I did.
I got it. It was a very funny story, which I've, spoken about in my other video as to how I got it. But it's something to do with the Parsi Afro Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
and, we put our Parsis in everything. So the Parsis put... Yeah. But one thing, Nisha, what I've realized is, yes, of course, you are this glamorous, famous person and, page 3 and everything. But there's this side of you that is constantly reaching out to people. You have a foundation. You also are working with underprivileged children. You are working on their education. You are also trying to revive the arts and crafts in India. So you are not just another face, not just another, you are everything. As I already said, you are the full package. So what makes you so compassionate? Is it because, like you've always been like that? Do you feel that life is, made you that way? But that compassion, empathy, you can't just get overnight, It's something that comes within with a lot of experiences through life. So what makes you this person that is so warm and so warm-hearted?
Kainaz, firstly, thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me because that is what I aim to be. So you're saying it only makes it better for me in terms of coming closer to my goal. I think when you come close to challenge and troughs in your life, you do become more empathetic and compassionate to people. And I can't say life has been without its share of troughs and challenges, which definitely brings you closer to home in terms of what are we here for? What is the journey all about? Is it about materialism and popularity? Or is it about being the change? I don't think anything in our existence, in our generation, has taught us more closely as COVID, that life is not about handbags, sunglasses, cars, or the square feet of your home. Life is about intertwined humanity. If one person gets COVID, a whole lot of people get COVID.
Yes.
The coronavirus has taught us that in saving others, you save yourself. In helping others, you help yourself. In an entire collective humanity. In the fact that we are one whole. And whether it's Parsi philosophy or Sikh philosophy or Muslim philosophy or Hindu philosophy or Christian philosophy, all say that humanity must help humanity.
That's true. That's one.
And this year, this prophetic year, 2020, has taught us that life is about reaching out, about helping others, about being there for each other, about close friendships, about close family members, and about being there for people unknown to you. Not only selfishly for those people you love, but people outside that circle of love. And I think I learned that lesson very early on because, yes, I had many challenges in my life. And I think challenge makes you into a finer person. It's like gold going through fire and becoming purer. As people, we become better honed. We reach out to each other and we realize, Kainaz, if you look at it, you don't remember famous businessmen, but you remember Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. Now, were Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela famous billionaires driving the latest Testarossa? I don't think so. They were very simple and they probably had nothing to their name.
Yeah.
So, to go down in history, to be somebody that changed the world and to be somebody that matters is to be there for humanity as a whole. If each and every one of us did our little bit, India could go very, very far. And in this one generation, we could transform this country into an educated and a more beautiful place to be in.
So is Harsha Foundation is doing that? Is it what it's all about, the Harsha Foundation?
The Harsha Foundation, I stumbled upon several years ago when I went to teach some Adivasi tribal girls art
wow.
In the village of Kalinganagar of Orissa.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon Harsha Trust and they invited me to be a part of the trust, to be a trustee. And I was delighted, honored and overwhelmed. And I've been working with them in the last 5-6 years. And it's been a very fulfilling experience. I've not only been able to share whatever I could, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about poultry, irrigation, creating learning centers and
you love
reading
learning.
rooms.
You're all about learning new things, and I should learn that from you. Like you just.
I'm an eternal learner, Kainaz. My life is about learning.
Yeah, and when one doesn't stop learning, one doesn't stop growing. It's like it's amazing how many things you've done. But what actually has also fascinated me, being an author, I have read that Jeffrey Archer, the Jeffrey Archer, is not only a friend, but he has written about your story in his book, right? That's what I have read somewhere, and I am waiting to read it. To be honest, I haven't read it, but now I'm waiting to. What's this all about? You have been featured in Jeffrey Archer's book. Now, this is something that, I wouldn't even dream of meeting Jeffrey Archer, let alone being featured in his book. So how was that for you? What did you feel about it?
Well, I wouldn't have dreamt of it either. But we did meet and we absolutely got along famously. And we spoke about each other and like friends do about each other's lives. And next thing I know, he was writing my story.
Okay.
He read out a paragraph to me and I was delighted and overwhelmed. And what really enthralled me, Kainaz, is it was not melodramatic. It was very beautiful. No wonder he's one of the best storytellers in the world.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is when you speak to him, he's just as enigmatic in person as he is in his books.
Right.
Very often you see an artist or you see a famous writer and he's not as enigmatic as his books or his art. But in the case of Jeffrey Archer, he's even more enigmatic as a human being. He's witty, he's funny, he's exciting. And he chose to give me the name of Nisha Jamvwal in the book also.
Okay.
And so I feature as myself and the story is 100% true. It's called Cast Off and it features in his book And Thereby Hangs a Tale. But I'm going to use this forum to share a very exciting, a new development which has occurred just this year in the COVID year, which is that this story was written around 5 years ago. But this year, all his readers all over the world chose the favorite stories of Jeffrey Archer, and they were put into one collection of stories in a hardbound limited edition book.
Right.
And one of the favorite stories by the readers has been my story.
Okay, wow.
And it has been illustrated by a world famous artist called Paul Cox. And as we speak, the show of these paintings, the art show, is going on at the Chris Beatles Gallery in London.
Oh, wow.
Where illustrations of my life have been hung. So I'm going to show you this book.
Yes.
And this is the book. And this is the hard copy book in which my story has been featured. And this is the story. It's called Cast Off.
Okay.
And this is these are the illustrations.
Yes.
These are the illustrations. I'm going to show you. These are the illustrations.
Wow.
And this is part of the book. So it's been a great honor that my story has been unprejudicedly chosen as one of the favorite stories all over the world.
Wow.
So I was very honored. I felt very privileged.
Yeah.
And I was very excited. And as we speak, the story is being scripted and also going to be made into a show or a movie.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. See, have I got breaking news on Break Free?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
So Jeffrey Archer was a very exciting moment of my life. And that has been that has been the theme of my life. I've had very fabulous highs and very trying lows.
Yeah.
And I think that is what differentiates my life and makes it into a unique existence.
Yeah.
Where I think I have grown with every experience. And it's literally like sculpting a work in a studio. I feel very sculpted. It has not been as much a cakewalk as one would like to imagine. Life comes with its share of pitfalls and troughs and rapids and speed breakers.
Yes.
The most important thing is when there are those speed breakers, to stay motivated and about being able to take failure and with as much alacrity as you take success.
Right.
So all of us are able to take success with great joie de vivre.
Of course.
But to take failure and to get up once again is truly not that easy.
Not at
and
all.
I have been there not once but several times.
Not at all. Not at
And
all.
I have got up in the face of envy, in the face of competitiveness, and kudos to women like you, Kainaz, who celebrate women, who take success and celebrate the success of people around her, as opposed to people who resent the success and feel competitive. So I think if I was to tell women achievers, the one thing to be an achiever, the hallmark of an achiever, is to be able to celebrate, motivate, and encourage other women, rather than feel territorial. Because I was once a newcomer in India, in India and in Bombay.
Who is it? You were not.
And there were established famous women
I'm sure.
who felt very resentful when I was celebrated by the press, and they kept asking that what does she have? Why?
That we don't have.
And I
Can I
tried in my
tell you
journey.
what? You have humility. And I'm not just saying that because you're on my show. No, because I've experienced that, and I said that to you even over the phone. When you have I think humility is truly the key to success. And for that, now I shall take you through a very fun round. So hope you'll enjoy it. It's called coffee, chai, or cocktails. Okay. So there's the coffee cup. And there's my chai with Kai cup, which everyone knows about. And that's my cocktail glass, which is empty at this time of the evening, but as the evening goes by. So you get to choose which one would you like to have with me. Coffee, chai, or cocktails. That's when after the lockdown, after the whole period, if you'd like to have that with me. If you don't, also you just get to choose
I
that.
I choose a Singapore Sling, a cocktail.
A cocktail? Okay, done. So
Any
I'm
day
going to ask
more
you,
heady, and any day more exciting, and any day more like my life. A cocktail of various elements.
what is it? Just for my knowledge, what is it? What is the ingredients in it? What is all the poison in it?
The Singapore Sling was made in Singapore at the Raffles Hotel.
Yes, been
I
there.
had some of the most memorable dates with my partner at the Raffle Hotel over Singapore Sling. It's
Okay.
a very heady and a very exciting drink. It's got many, many ingredients of which I'm not really going to be able to remember what they are, but it's very heady and it's very exciting. And it was invented in Singapore at
Okay.
the Raffles Hotel.
Okay. Fair enough. So let's start this. So something for the viewers, guys. Please pay close attention to this round because at the end of the show, I'm going to ask you a question, a random question about whatever Nisha says, any question, and you're obviously going, like always, going to get a prize from my secret sponsor. Okay, so there we go. Okay, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, the most outrageous statement you have ever heard.
Okay, I'm going to have to remember. About me or about just
Anything, not
generally?
anything, something really outrageous.
One of the more outrageous statements, because you spoke about humility, was when I asked a friend of mine, not really a friend, somebody I was meeting for the first time. She'd asked me out for lunch to get to know me. And she said, I do nothing. I'm a tycoon. And I only wear designer clothes. And to me, that was the antithesis of being, of having humility. And Kainaz, that was one of the first people I met in Bombay. I was absolutely horrified and felt like running back immediately to Los Angeles.
I can imagine. I would do the same completely. Okay, 10 years from now, you will be, you can fill in the
I
blank.
will be an artist and a painter.
Yeah.
I have absolutely not even a split second of doubt in answering.
Wow.
I have spent around 40% of my time during the lockdown painting and painting and painting.
And paint. Okay.
So I started life out as a painter, but my father said that I must study and have an education. So I went on to do English literature. I did interiors architecture. I did fashion and garment drafting, and went on to become a career woman.
Yeah.
But my dream of being a painter inspired by Van Gogh, inspired by Modigliani, inspired by Gauguin, who started his career so late in life, I will be definitely a painter.
Great. Okay. Stuck on an island for a year. Which person or living being would you like to take with you, if any, in brackets?
Definitely my partner, who is my favorite companion in terms of conversation, in terms of occupations, in terms of laughter, in terms of wit and humor. The lockdown has been all the more beautiful in his company. And I think every human being that goes out to choose a life partner must choose a life partner on the basis of friendship and companionship rather than diamonds, homes, and cars. Because in a lockdown or in a secluded island, marooned like Robinson Crusoe, definitely a car does not come in handy, and nor does a solitaire of 50 carats. Because I asked a famous friend once, what is she looking for in a man? And she said, he must give me a 50-carat diamond on the Eiffel Tower. And nothing else matters. So I don't think the 50-carat diamond would come in place, would it?
No, it would not. But this Eiffel Tower dream is like everybody's dream, isn't it? The romantic movies, chick flicks have really spoiled us all. It's like this whole.
Well, I hope that changes. I hope 2020 changes a lot of things for humanity.
So, 3 words for any successful partnership to thrive.
Did you mean a work or just any
Any
partnership?
partnership to thrive.
Trust,
Yeah,
a sense of humor,
yeah, okay.
and the ability to move on, the ability to forgive, overlook, and move on. So, trust, a sense of humor, and the ability to move on and look ahead and not recriminate over the past. If you're not able to overlook and let go,
Oh, yeah, it's very tough.
a relationship cannot thrive because
Yeah,
then it's built
yeah,
on the bones and skeletons of the past.
yeah, true. Like, you did this to me in 2005. I know that you give these lovely webinars for social etiquettes and grooming. I'm coming to the next one, by the way. You one grooming tip that you would give to our viewers that will never go wrong. You know, like that's one thing that it'll never go wrong if they do that. You know, don't do anything, but just do that one thing. One grooming tip.
Uh, I wish I could find just one, but let me say one etiquette tip and one grooming tip. One
Yeah.
etiquette tip, which comes first to me, is pick up phones and RSVP. Do both these things for people.
Yeah.
Because somehow I feel some Indians seem to feel it's cool to ignore phone calls and to not pick up the phone, and that makes them feel important. I think it's lack of importance and lack of breeding and lack of a good upbringing that makes you want to believe that importance comes from being nasty and impolite to other people.
Showing your busy. Right.
I think grooming, it's a personal thing, but I feel a lot of people eat with their mouths open and blow fumes while eating. And for me, I think that's one of the most offensive things to do.
That is one of the things.
So eating well, eating with your fork and knife, with the serviette. I think one of the most important things in terms of etiquette and grooming is eating well. Please say thank you. Please say sorry, and please say please.
I think that's for everyone, isn't it? Please, sorry, and thank you. What does break free mean to you? If I say the word break free,
it can only mean one thing to me. It means not caring about the opinions of human beings and caring about being authentic and intrinsically honest to yourself. To be superficial and polite to people because they are there and watching you, and to be impolite and incorrect when you're on your own. Metaphorically, to have a beautiful sitting room and a ramshackle restroom.
Yeah, true.
To break free is to break free of approval.
Yeah.
When you don't do things for the approval of others, but when you do things because you believe in them, because of the truth of what you believe in, because of the authenticity of what you believe in, and to live life by that authenticity. That is to break free.
You've done more justice than I could ever imagine. So after the lockdown, we'll go for a cocktail. And if you don't want to meet me, that's also fine. But you win that. You win that.
I'm waiting to meet you, and I'm waiting to buy you a Singapore sling.
Yes.
And to do a proper cheers.
Definitely.
But until then, cheers to you. Cheers to the woman that you are. Cheers to your show, and cheers to you motivating, encouraging, and showcasing other people who can motivate people who are feeling unhappy, hemmed in, and locked in at the moment. Thank you for spreading the cheer, Kainaz.
And thank you too. Thank you. That's totally mutual. Now, my last segment is digital drama. Now, that is informing the viewers about the contest question. So, guys, the third question of Nisha's coffee, chai, and cocktails. You have to tell me that stuck on an island for a year, which person or living being would she like to take with her? That's all. It's as simple as that. Drop your comments in the inbox and you shall get a prize from my secret sponsor. And it's a good prize, so do participate in the contest. And
Yay!
and Nisha, I would love to tell people about your social media handles, but of course, you don't have to. I will write them
I
down
would
as
love
well.
to
But
tell them. Please do mention it on your post.
of course,
And I'm on all social media as Nisha Jamvwal. Only on Twitter, I'm Nish Jamvwal with a V. And on all other social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook,
yes,
I'm Nisha Jamvwal. So
lovely.
please join me there. And I will be sharing Kainaz's show, Kainaz's show called Break Free on my social media as well.
That's great. Thank you so much, Nisha. It was a pleasure speaking to you, Nisha. I really hope that all my viewers and all your viewers and whoever's watching this takes back something from this video, because that is actually the idea. Motivates people and actually gives them this reason to follow their dreams. Guys, you are watching Chai with Kai on YouTube. Please follow me, do subscribe and follow Nisha as well. And I'm sure you are going to have the most interesting things to watch on her channels and on her social media handles as well. Nisha, it
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure. Absolutely.
It was a pleasure to meet you, to be here, and to be part of a show that's encouraging so many people to live life in a happier state of mind despite the circumstances.
Absolutely.
All the best and stay blessed, Kainaz.
Thank you.
Love
And
you.
thank you for being you. Thank you. All the best. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
For hats. I had no
Yes.
idea, but on all my shows, I always pick up one thing that resonates with my guest. And so I've managed to dig out one of the only hats I have and to wear it and tell me what is this thing about hats. I mean, I just found it so cute. I'm like, she collects so many hats.
And I was all of 3 years old. And the love and the passion for hats has continued. And it's not for, any tabloids. It's not for any paparazzi. It's genuinely what I love.
Yeah.
And I wear hats in planes, on trains, in traveling, or on safaris, at the races, just about everywhere in the world. And I buy hats wherever I go and I wear them. So they are things I've absolutely always loved.
Yeah.
So yes, it is.
It is. It's your passion. I stumbled across it. I'm like, oh my God, that is so cute.